Alright everybody, back with another, well, I guess it'd be technically my first actual video. And anyway, this right here is I know it's going to confuse a bunch of people, a 1984 through 89 F-150. Now I know that's not technically true, but this truck is an 84 front end and bed with an 89 cab and an 84 interior, if that makes any sense. Don't ask me how that works, but it does. Anyway, this truck here will get you through anything. And I do mean anything. First of all, you got the 3-pedal and the 2 sticks. Alright. MP435, also known as the Granny 4-speed. Got that real low first gear. Mainly a 3-speed with low, pretty much. So you basically just a 3-speed, because I don't never put it in low unless I'm around the farm. You got 4-wheel drive manual. Now, some trucks of this year, I think, did come with automatic lockers. This one has manual lockers. That's what you want. I believe the automatics, I don't know. I've seen them on GMs, but I ain't never seen them on Ford. But the automatic lockers, I think, are vacuum control. You don't want that. Next thing you got here, and I know this would make some people not say, I don't want it. You got the 4.9, also known as a 300 inline 6. Probably the most bulletproof motor Ford's ever made. You know, it's right up there with the 351 Windsor and that kind of stuff. This, to me, is probably the best motor they've ever made. It's not an absolute race car by no means. I think this one's like just over 100 horse, because it's got the 1-barrel Weber carb on it. But this thing is a torque monster, and it loves low RPMs. Anything above 2,000, you might as well forget it. Between 1,000 and 2,000, this thing loves it. Now, I don't know about any other ones. I just know this one does. The main thing about this truck here is simplicity, okay? They basically put together everything they knew worked and put it on this truck. Now, a lot of people don't want these trucks because this is the base as base model came. I mean, this is like the bottom of the line base model right here. But I actually like it better, mainly because they always seem to come with a 300, MP435, and come with a lot of manual or mechanical options. Now, this one did have electric choke. I got some kind of cable tied in, but mechanical fuel pump. You change that fuel pump in 20 minutes. You ain't got to drop the whole tank. You know, you got everything's accessible. You got plenty of room to work on it. Parts is easy to get. You can make this thing run with 3 pieces of wire and a Coke bottle of gas, and you can run this thing. It don't take nothing. Go across them two, or across this one. No, yeah, across this one and this one. Crank it right up. Even if the key switch goes out, just turn the key on, and if that don't work, you can always just hot wire it right there. Nothing to it. Just simplicity. That's the main thing we're doing here. Now, the one thing I don't like about this truck is it's got a hydraulic clutch. Now, I wanted manual, straight linkages, but this one has hydraulic. It's not the end of the world. I mean, they last a long time if you take care of it, and keep the fluid full. That's the main other thing too. And it works, gets the job done. Main thing is it's a manual. To me, that's the main thing that sold me on this truck. And as far as everything else, she ain't pretty. She ain't no show truck, ain't no rocket ship. This truck right here will survive the apocalypse. I mean, look, everything in this truck is mechanical. You got air conditioning. Oh, and something else I like about this truck, you might look right there and just see its heat. And you'll look up here and you'll see, well, all there is a heater core. No AC compressor. This is a factory non-AC truck. To me, that's better. I don't really care about having air conditioner. Yeah, it's nice. This is my beater. My gas saver versus my 460. This is my gas saver right here. This thing right here gets about 16 to 20 miles a gallon, which for me is great for a truck. Now, it is turning 31s now, so I'm not really sure what it gets. Before, it had 30s on it, I think, and we was getting about, I think he said he was getting around 18 out of it, and running it hard, and now it's bigger and wider tires. This one does have muffler cut out. She's running straight cat. But the main thing is, you got probably Ford's most bulletproof engine to their best transmission, in my opinion, or one of their best transmission, which is the MP435. Oh, if y'all not familiar with those, go check out Zip Ties and Buy Supplies. He puts those things through everything behind some of those in some of those trucks he's got. They're almost unkillable. It's like this 300. This 300 is like this IDIs. They're almost unkillable. Or a 351 Windsor. I've heard a lot of stuff about those being real bulletproof motors. I hadn't. Me personally, have never had one. I've had this one and I've got a 460. But that kind of sums this up. I know that wasn't a very good tour. We'll walk around here. Everything is manual and it was made to last. There's that choke. You know, there's not a whole lot going on, nothing fancy. But everything in here was made to last forever, and it has. I mean, you see that right there? That's ripped out. This truck, I believe I'm believing it has probably 323,000 miles by the way everything is, because this whole truck's wore out. But it's basically a farm truck and a beater, so I really don't care. And listen to this. Now, I just got done running the crap out of this thing. It's probably going to embarrass me now. This thing, I believe, has 323,000 miles. But listen to this. Still runs perfect. A little skip at low idle, but nothing. That's vacuum leaks. It don't even have an air cleaner on it. Look at it. Got a huge exhaust leak over there coming off the head flange part, missing the nut, and it's loose. Take her for a spin. Like I say, she's not no rocket ship. We'll take her for a little spin around the yard. I really don't want to get on the road right now. I don't feel like it. So, you got reverse. See, I'm not even touching the gas pedal. Watch this. Alright, so there's our low first. That's what I love about this truck. Look, you just barely crawling. And I can almost get out of this truck and let it drive itself. I mean, it's just such a low first gear. That's why they call it the Granny 4-speed. Chevrolet, GM, Dodge, all those I think have had their version of a Granny 4-speed, but in my opinion, Ford and GM made the best too. I don't know that Dodge ever made one, but the two that I've had that was Chevrolets, I've had a square body and I've had one of these, and they just, I don't know, they seem to be really good transmissions. And I mean, you know, it's just walking speed. And you might say, oh, it's going to stall out. I have to give it a little bit of gas because here you see. I'm going to not touch the gas and just see what it does. It's like 200 RPM. I mean, come on, it's not going to stall. It's just chugging along like it ain't nothing. And it just picks itself right back up. It don't struggle, it don't lug or nothing. Just give her a little hot start for you. Nothing to it. Perfect low idle. Now, this is a little goofy to do with one hand. This could be fun. All right, there we go. For some reason, I've never seen one like that. It's got a button. Now, that might just be specific to the 84s. Not really sure. But that right there sums up my tour. You can see she's not perfect. But yeah, so if you're looking for a truck that will survive an apocalypse and will run forever, this right here is living proof that you can get it. Now, I don't like to say a lot, but I did pay $1,400 for this truck. This is 2023. I paid $1,400 for this truck, Yes, it's got 323,000 miles. The guy told me 223. I think it's 323, just by the way everything looks. And yes, she's crunchy, but the frame's still solid except for back there in the back. I mean, it's not rotted through. It's just, you know, it's a little weak, but everything's still intact. You know, suspension's still in pretty good shape. Still a good truck. I mean, it's still a really, really solid truck. There's not really a whole lot going on, not really a whole lot to tear up on it. And you see, you just got your manual 4x4, 4 high, well, shifter fell off, and neutral, and then 4 low, and then 2 high. Don't know where my shifter went. That's pretty much all there is to it. Not a lot going on. And I'm gonna have to excuse all the background noise. There's my shift knob back. Not a whole lot happening with this truck, but I mean, you know, really, really tough old trucks. They don't, and as the saying goes, you heard your grandpa or your dad, if your dad's a little older, great grandpa or uncles, great uncles, all of you older people in your life, you've probably heard them say they don't make them like they used to. And let me tell you, they knew what they was talking about. I own 2 of these trucks now. This one's my 86. This is my project truck. This one here's got 57,000 original miles. But she, you know, she had a rough life. I'm putting a transmission in it tomorrow. But I will say this: the guy I bought this truck from here swapped a Dana 60 Kingpin in the front, which I believe is out of an 87 F350, or was 4. It's a rebuilt new axle. He didn't tell me that. And if you're watching, I'm not mad at you or nothing. I've just been nice to know. He didn't tell me that that was a 410 geared axle. And I want to say this is like a 355 or something in the back. And I may or may not have put it in 4-wheel drive and grenaded the transmission. And possibly the transfer case. I'm not sure. All I know is it just won't drive no more. I put it in 4-wheel drive, moved it like 10 feet, heard a loud pop, and that was the end of it. So I texted him and I was like, hey man, something's not right. And he said, did you ever change the gears in that rear end? I said, no, you never told me to. He said, that axle I give you with it, that 410 Sterling, you were supposed to swap them, because he said, that's a Sterling 10 1/4 rear. I said, I had thinking, you know, I shouldn't have sold that axle, because I sold it for like $250 and a power steering pump for that truck, or this truck, whichever one needs it first. And I got to thinking, I was like, you know, I should have done that, because now I could really use the internals to put in this. But what, you know, we can't go back in the past. So for now, I'm just going to have a 2-wheel drive F250 until I get a rear end tracked down and get the funds to get it. So if anybody around upstate South Carolina within a couple hours, or within an hour probably, of Greenville, knows where I can get a Sterling 10 1/4 with 410 gears, let me know. Or I guess a Dana 60, but I don't know if they come with 410 gears from the rear. I don't know a whole lot about axles, but I need a 410 rear that'll go in my 86. So if anybody knows where I can find one, let me know. I've been digging around on ones I can find. It's about half blowed up anyway. But that kind of wraps it up. I know I went on a little bit farther than I wanted to. That kind of wraps it up. If y'all looking for one of these trucks, you just got to get out and look, and you can't be afraid to buy something that's rusty. Just as long as the frame's solid and it's not rotted through, don't worry about rust on the cab. If it runs right, and don't be afraid of something that don't run. I mean, you know, check it out, make sure it's all there, but don't be scared of it just because, you know, hey, it don't run. I bought that one non-running. It runs perfect. Just a slight bit of work. Well, I'll fire it up here for you. It needs a little adjustment. I put a Holley 670 on it about a week ago, just because I didn't want the emissions carb. It had a 4180 Holley. It was emissions, and I didn't want that. All right, so it ain't got no choke yet, so it might have to take a pump. She might idle, I don't know, it's cold. That's a cold big block. That's stock exhaust. Y'all can't tell me that don't sound good. And yeah, she's a little shaky. I know y'all see that. But you have to think, this truck here has everything emissions with all the vacuum lines hooked. There's like one vacuum line hooked up, and that's for the vacuum advance motor. The rest of them unhooked, unplugged. So I got like 12 good vacuum leaks. But listen at it. Let's see if it'll. Yeah, I ain't got much of a transmission. But anyway, y'all get the idea. The 460 sounds good for stock. If anybody wants to see the video of me pulling transmission, I'll try to film it. It's gonna be hard. But that wraps this up. Until next time, y'all subscribe to my channel, like the video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below what you thought about my opinion on this. If I'm wrong about anything, y'all correct me. And hopefully I'll get a video out next week. Thanks for watching. Later.